How's it going, everyone? We're down in the shed. Today's mission is to make a timber lure. So we'll get sketching and see what we come up with.
Yeah, look at that slow roll. That was a good like fish. Oh, it's a good sooty. Oh, yep.
Here's what I've come up with. A few little natives. And then so I've folded paper over and copied them through. So that's basically the outline of the body. Decide which one I want to do, whether I want to do a Saratoga, cod or a yellow belly. And then cut this out. And I'll glue that down on the timber. And that'll give me an outline to cut. So we'll get into that step. Should be good.
Alright, so we're just going to cut this out. And I'll stick it on and then trace around it. There we go. Cut that out. There we go. Right, so I just sat that there and traced that. We're a bit wide with this piece of timber. We'll get the saw and I'll just run and cut that. There we have it. And now I've got my very own template for any future ones I want to make. Alrighty, so we've got basically the main part done. I'm going to use this pen and mark down the sides here, and it'll be our carve lines to start with. So I'll just continue that all the way around the body. Carve from there to there, carve that chunk out, then I'll decide might want a little bit more, and we'll just round these edges. Alright, we've just done our like sort of our carve marks. I've got just a Stanley. I'll run until it touches those lines, and do that all around the body just to start to round out its shoulders and its belly. There's the shoulders. Right, now we need to do a taper in the tail. So I'm just going to use this hard piece of plastic, sort of molds over it. And we'll do something a little bit like that. Something like that. And then I'll just use the knife and carve that out. Should have done that first, but haven't made a lure in a bit of a while. So you go like here. Out where it stops on the other side. We'll go down from this line here to there. We'll do the same on the front, and there we go. Now I'll carve that bottom section off there, and then same with the tail, and then try and just mirror it
and make it as equal as I can. I'm just going to look at both sides and just try and really mirror that taper. Alrighty, so I've carved around the outside, gave it a bit of a tapered tail, and it's looking alright. So yeah, I'm just going to sand it down, round out those edges, and yeah, it's coming up pretty nice. Get ready to cut her up. It's just going to be a multi-piece swim bait. Coming up right. I'll sand the rest of the body so it's nice and smooth, and we'll see you then. And what I'm doing now is really just looking down that body and just trying to perfect it as much as possible. So making sure all the edges, the top edges, right and left are equal, and just getting it nice and smooth. Coming up pretty good. Yeah, literally just using an orbital piece of sandpaper. Just running it.
It's like running up and down, jumping around chasing it.
Coming along pretty nicely. I'm thinking she's going to be a 3-piece. So with a swim bait, like a 3-piece, it's more of a glide bait. You have to have each piece smaller as the body goes along. So I might make it first piece there, or there-ish, and the next piece like there, just to try and keep that movement going through the whole lure. Yeah, I'll get it nice and perfect, and then we'll set her up in a vise, and I'll use this sort of a mini saw. It's got a nice skinny blade with small teeth. I'll use that to sort of cut the slots for our swim bait. Should be good. There we go, not too bad of a replica. Alrighty, so I've gotten to the stage where I'm happy with the lure. So I've gone and cut a piece of angle in this piece of timber and just clamped it on top. So I'm going to use that as a guide when using my saw to make sure I can cut nice and neatly through this guy. I'll just stick this saw here, apply a bit of pressure. Go back the other way. Okay, so I've actually gone and cut it the wrong angle. That's okay, because we have a bit of a space between where you join them. So from here on, I'm going to cut it back the other way, do the same thing on the other side, and then I'll use the sander and cut and sand off that ugly bit, just so. And I can just sand the material off and we'll join it back up. You will never know. Go around, go back the other way. There we go. Getting there. It doesn't need very much. Don't do this at home. My hand is basically a clamp. So.
Okay, that's first and second piece. I will use my Stanley, clean up this a little bit. On that, like that. Just sort of make it a bit neater. And then sand that and just sort of protect that piece. Then I'll sand this back to being pointy. So there you go. Sweet. Well, since I messed that up, I've saved myself, as you can see. Just took a little bit off the tail just to bring it back to pointy, just like that. So that's how that joint will go. And then we'll start another cut about here at the tail. So it'll be a 3-piece, joint number 1. That's the start of it. I'm just going to finish out the rest by hand just so I can get it perfect to the middle. There we go. Back and front. And alright, a little bit of sanding. Get them nice and perfect. Alrighty, so cut out that tail, sanded her up, and that is sort of the finished project. We'll have to bend up some wire, and that'll be what connects our pieces together. Bending up some stainless steel wire, and then we'll glue them in and then start attaching the whole caboodle. So set them together and sort of marked dots where I'm going to drill holes. Now I'm going to be bending up some wire. So I have another piece of wire that runs there, and that can move freely on itself. So I'll show you how I bend this up. So I've got a little pop of it. Put this in the chuck of the drill. Yep. Slowly. There we go. There's one. Cut this excess off, and then that'll get glued in to the body of the ruler. And you have it. There's one. With the next one, this is just stainless steel wire out of a big roll. It was all wrapped together, and then you go through this one, and that'll be your join between both your bodies. Too easy. Alright, well we've bended all these bits up, so just got to go and get some epoxy, and we'll epoxy them in, so we'll see you shortly. Sweet, so here's our swim bait. I've just twisted up those guys, so as you can see, I'm going to stop moving, they're just interlocked together. I'll glue it into here, and then once that's set, I'll drill holes for these half, and then glue them in so it's all attached and together. Does that make sense? Start to mix up some glue, get all those in. Alright, we'll just cut these end caps off this epoxy. Just 2-part, it's just a cheap $5 epoxy. So just have an even amount of both. Now this is 5-minute epoxy, so it goes off pretty quick. So just going to mix this up pretty thoroughly. Start with these guys. So I just like to get a good amount of it on the end of a little bit of metal here. And then I just stick that in here. Work it around, push it in, pull it out, and then just push it all the way, and that's that one done. Do the same as this other one. I'm making sure they're all sitting flat and flush. I'll actually wipe a bit of that out because there's a bit much in there. Let that sit. And we'll go on to this one. Yeah, and again we're just trying to work that into the hole. Whoops, I just got it on my fingers. That'll be stuck on my fingers for a long time now. There you have it. As you can see there, first part's glued in. Just going to mix up some more glue and we'll glue the other half in. Finished gluing those on. We've got a fin to do here and fin at the back. and then some hook hangers, and as well as where we'll tie our line to. Done the hole for that one already. See it down there.
So yeah, we'll drill all the rest of the holes, and we'll get ready to pump them full of glue and put them on. Sweet. Alright, well, I've just sort of dummy sticked in those hook hangers, so you can see there's the nose there and the hook hangers below. So I'm gonna pull them out, mix up some glue, and yeah, we'll get them set in. Sweet. Alright, so we've got everything glued in. If you look down here, I'm just starting to do out this back. So I started with the Stanley knife, sort of cut out a little bit of a section. Now I'm turning on this drill. I'm slowly eating out that hole, so it's deep enough, basically like that, but it'll be a different shape, and that'll be like my top sort of back fin of the cod, which, if you look at a picture here, I'm basically replicating that there. Alright, so once I've got that out, we'll start and we'll cut a new piece of this perfectly to fit in there. Alright, so I've drilled a nice deep hole on that back there for that back fin. And if you look down here, I'm going to drill a hole all the way through that backbone, and I'll sit the fin, and then I'll run through this again, and then we'll glue in a piece of wire just to add some extra strength on that back fin. Alright, so that's that back fin in there. I think I'm pretty happy with that. Got this back fin to do, and then we're going to water down epoxy all over the whole thing just to waterproof it, and then should be ready to go in the tank for our test runs, and then we'll affect its weight by putting lead in its belly here so it's the right depth in the water. So that's that wire. Obviously trim it down, but that's just holding that back. Like, I don't even need to glue that if I glue that in, eh? Like, it's just holding that back in straight through that polycarbonate. But yeah, I'll trim it off so it doesn't overhang, and you'll never know it's there once it's all done. So I'll cut that down and we'll stick her in, and Bob's your uncle. Glue out of there. Give it a good mix. Smells great. Should grab a big dollop of this. That should sink down in there pretty good. And get our little piece of metal. Just use these pliers just to make it tap through that polycarbonate. There we go. There we go. That's hidden on that side, and there you go. There's the back fin done. Alright, so that's that tail. Alright, so here we have it. That's what I've sort of come up with. So stick that in there. That's sort of the tail. And epoxy that in along with a rod, same as what we did here. This one's starting to set up now, not going anywhere. Stuff this back end here. Oops. A little bit of glue, let it drip in there. That, and then we'll put this little piece of wire in here. That's that tail done. I'm just going to grab some of this epoxy and try my best just to fill in those holes that we've left. Yeah, this is a metal burner, so I'm just using that, and I'll put marks in the tail as you would see in a normal fish's tail. So I've done the same with the top fin just to give it a bit more realistic.
but I'll paint the whole thing, but that'll look like it's got all the sort of the fins running through everything. First I'll just add some metho because we're going to water it down. I'm just going to coat that lure in that, and that'll give it its waterproofing that it needs. Alright, it's all sealed. Now we just got to get it to the water and test it. That's with the hooks on, so I'm going to grab a rod and we'll test out our suction. Work out whether we got to put some weights in its belly to make it swim. Test to see how much we need. Drop it in here. It floats really well. So that's not even, the hooks aren't even weighing it down really. So we'll have to put a bit of weight in its belly. Alright, we'll start by doing a little pilot hole, and then I'll follow that hole with a bigger drill bit. And I'm just trying to get that as center as possible. Alrighty, so there's the lure. Just drill some holes in the bottom. We're going to turn on a lead pipe and try and pour some lead in there just to weigh it down in the water. It's alright, we'll get the lead hot and pour it. Lead is a very hot substance. Do not do this, make sure you're very careful if you do. Got a lead pipe, it's rusted so I can't lift the lever and make it drip out, unfortunately. There you go. Turn that off, and I'll use a Stanley and cut off any excess, and then we'll glue her in. Gluing this lead in.
Put a bit of sawdust in.
Yep. Sawdust will just add as a bit of a thickening agent. And I'll just sand it down nice and smooth. Alrighty, how's it going everyone? As you would have seen last, putting lead in into that little swim bait. So I tested it out and it just floated. Action wasn't as good as I'd liked. So off camera I went and put some more lead in it, and I tweaked a few things. Sort of the final product for sort of the painting stage. As you can see there. So I've put a bit more lead in the front there and a little tiny bit in the back, and just sort of tweaked it. So now it is a slow sink. Alrighty, we've got both dogs down here. Come and have a look. So I can't. Yeah, look at that slow roll. So now we're going to get started with painting it. Just going to start with a full solid white over the whole body of the lure, and then we'll go from there. Add some green and maybe a touch of yellow down through the belly, and then add some black dots and an eye. I'd like it to be a tad darker, but I don't have black, so. This was the best I was able to do with the colours I have. It's not too bad. I'm gonna go get a Sharpie and add some other effects, an eye and some dots. Alrighty, what's going on everyone? We're in the canoe today, and yeah, I just missed a sooty, so I'll play that footage for you soon. Throwing the homemade. Let's get into it. Yep, I'm on. Oh. So glad I threw that cast out there, hey. Feels like he's got me in something here. Oh, that is on the homemade. It feels kind of decent. I don't know, he's not coming up. Oh, it looks like a bass to me. No, it's a good sooty. Look at that. Oh, he crunched it. Oh, that is just brilliant. He is a good sooty. Nice. Look at that. Just a nice. Oh, and off he goes. Yoo! That was a good size fish. Oh, it's pulling me out. Jeez, what is it? Oh, it's a big soot. How good's that? That's a sooty on the homemade. Brilliant, eh? Set these up and give you a better look at it, eh? Alrighty guys, there's that sooty. That's the first one landed on that swim bait this morning. It just swims like perfect. I couldn't ask for better action from it. Yeah, that's our first soot. We'll get them back in the drink, keep them nice and healthy. Had a bigger soot than this earlier. Yeah, it just came off. Gorgeous, healthy sooty. Stoked with that. Alrighty, we'll get back into it, see if we can pull another fish. See if we can pull another few fish out of the creek. Whew. There you have it, guys. Pretty simple, but did the trick, eh? Paint job is very dodgy, but hey, fish like it, so can't call me out too much on it. Please sponsor me, Rock Deli. How cool is that? That's a deer. Go. Yes, Harley. Don't let have slack in it. Just don't pump it like an offshore fish. Just fish it like that. Yep. Just tighten up your drag a little bit. You've got a tiger. Tighten up your drag. Yeah, you'll have to tighten up your drag a little bit. The knob on the front is your drag. Yeah, that's the one we saw swimming. Yep, and then pull him in your kayak like that. That's a good tiger. You need to get him in front of your paddle and flick your bow or you'll snap your rod.
Want to get fish grips? Straight in?
Yep, like that. Whoops. Yeah. There we go. Yep.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Is that your first tiger?
Yeah, ever.
Nice. On the chatterbait. Or was that your 10th cast?
Not even.
Oh,
5.
they're bloody slippery buggers. Just sitting in the water.
Can't
That's on that chatterbait. How good's that? Here, support his belly. Support his belly. Don't let him hold his weight from his mouth. Okay, here, alright. Now swap hands, like this. And then have your hand under there and support his tummy. And, yep. So all your weight's in there, you're just using that hand just to help hold him so he doesn't flip around. How good's that? That's a nice, healthy toga. Do you want to release him?
Yeah, you're going to
Oh yeah, we'll get a pick.
little pig.
Yeah. Off he goes. Look at him. How feels that? Off to munch another fish. Lead is very hot.